Magu Ziansho, divine marijuana brings immortality. So, when you tune into this channel and look at one of my videos, you already know it is time to light the holy or the sacred pipe. Now, everything that I do is based in actual alchemy. Now, since this is, or one of the things of this house, church, temple, is the combining back together of the female marijuana with the male hemp, which in our house, church, temple, we call Nagarjuna. I'll get into that. We give it a male name because it's a male, but in most of the world it's only known as hemp, whereas the one that you get high with is the female side of the plant, so it always has a female name. In the Taoist system, it is called, or the holy herb is called Magu. In the ancient Kemetic or Egyptian culture, it was called sea shot. And, you can go through different cultures, and of course, because it's the female side of the plant, it gets a female name. The female side of the plant is the side that you smoke. Simply that. And the hemp side, the male side, is in this house, church, temple. The male side is named Nagarjuna. I'll do a video on that whole thing. The hemp is called Nagarjuna because we consider this part of the plant, or this side of the male side of the plant, we consider the actual physical savior. What do I mean by that? Well, right now, if we were growing hemp, which is putting a seed in the ground, I'm simplifying it right now, but basically, you have to have land, first of all. Put a seed in the ground, cultivate that seed, make it grow. When it gets to a certain point, what we call the whole plant together, we call in this house, church, temple, we call cannabis when it's together. At a certain point, as it's growing, you have to separate the hemp from the marijuana. So, this can become hemp, and this can become the stuff yo, dude, I'm fucking high, man. So anyway, now the alchemy part is well, as I have explained before, when I'm smoking from this pipe and not going through a whole ritual, when I'm smoking from this pipe, this is what we would call recreational smoking. But it still has the alchemetic aspect, because in Kannabis Kung-Fu and cannabis spirituality, we consider the smoke or the lighting of the female marijuana with the male hemp in your body is combining again. That be, I'm talking about science. We're going to get into the science. I'm trying to rush through this because I got a lot to show on this video. When you smoke it with the hemp, you're actually combining the two together, and then you have what they call, what science call, cannabis. Is it cannabis? Yeah, cannabinoid receptors in your all over you, in your brain, in your everywhere. It's not like a system like your blood system. You know where your blood system going. But the cannabinoid receptors are just everywhere. Like, wow, we just learning about this in the last 10 years or so. Anyway, so that's the foundation. That's the basic idea. And then the spirituality gets into a little more of using the different tools and getting into the mindset. Not Sometimes if you get home from work, you might just want to smoke and not think about all this stuff. But if you are a heavy user, like, I mean, when I call it heavy user, if you spending $20 a week, get you a little dub. I don't buy from no damn dispensary. So I've seen what a $20 what a dub is from a dispensary. I mean, I smoke that shit up in one night. So what I buy lasts me for a minute. But anyway, the point, yeah. What was the point, boy? To get into this whole thing, that's the business side. So the Kung Fu means that we're gonna get into every aspect of this holy herb, not drug, not weed, blah 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 blah. It's about lifting the thought of it up and learning about the true real science of it. Once you know the true real science as well as the spirituality, you're gonna be like, wow, dude. So let's get on with so all that talking by now, you should have been able to go get your pipe, stuff your pipe. You probably done smoked already. You ain't wait for me. Oh, I'm putting it down like, what am I doing now, dude? So I can use the lighter now. So what I do, I light the hemp with the lighter because it's quicker and it's cheaper than wooden matches. And this has wax on it, so you find hemp with wax on it, and then I puff. And then when you puff, you hear that ring in your head, bling, and you hold it in and blow it out through the nose slowly. And then we make the sound HU, HU, to get all of the smoke out of the lungs. I forgot to turn on the light. I'm I'm stalling because I'm trying not to choke right now. So yesterday, yeah, pause. Okay, I'm black. No, I mean I'm back. So, um, what I was about to say that yesterday I did a video on the Wu Xing, or 5 phases, which is the 5 phases that yin and yang goes through to change from yin to yang. So, I talked about that already. But that video got so long, I realized I left a couple of things out. So, this is kind of an extension of that video, but in that video, I said that we don't like to call the 5 phases, we don't like to call them the 5 elements. But what I'm going to talk about on this video is the 5 elements of what what I am forming, called the art of slash networking, or Tao Net, on YouTube and Facebook. Tao Net business, the 5 elements in the business side of Tao Net. So just to say right quick, because I'm on the phone camera right now, because I want to take you around with me and show you what I'm talking about. um, so I'm saying the 5 elements because what I explained on the video from yesterday is that the 5 phases are phases, like the sun when it comes up and is overhead and then it goes down, whatever. So that's a phase of one thing, the sun. Whereas an element is that this is ether, this is fire, this is air, separate elements, though they might be connected on a deeper level. But anyway, in the headquarters of the art of life, or Tao Net art of life, that's the system. The art of networking headquarters here. I was thinking about that. I'm like, this also breaks down to 5 elements. So let's go through those elements. And then I want to show you some special temple Qigong that was, as my pyramid teacher used to say, was downloaded to me. Lester Loving, you know, I used to live in New York, and in Harlem, Lester Loving used to have these how to build the pyramids, and he was talking about all the type of energy, and I was just getting into teaching Tai Chi. It was great. That was a great time. But anyway, let's get into what are we getting ready to talk about, Bates? Seafood? Let's talk about, well, this is another part of the art of slash Wu Xing, but we're going to talk about the elements. So when we say elements, we mean separate things, whereas the five the 5 phases are kind of like one thing. So let's start over here. Let me show you what I done did it. Now I'm gonna talk. I'm gonna say it. I've been a wandering Taoist for about 20 years or so. And what I mean by that, I didn't have a place of my own to live. A couple of times here and there with young ladies and women. Well, I'll say young ladies because as I get older, they got younger. But anyway, but while I was living, I ain't never been like on the street. This is a choice. So you can study. You don't have no rent to pay, lights bills to pay, blah, 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 blah. And you study the way, or what is called the Tao. So while I was on the beach, I got my certificate. Why I say house church, temple, is because I got my certificate from the ancient Egyptian order, Per Neter Kemet. Now, the ancient Kemetic or Egyptian side is my personal um, soul training. What I'm talking about on these videos are spiritual training, but whatever your personal religion or belief system is, you can take what I'm teaching here, the Tao, and add it to that because the Tao is about nature. There's no, in religious Tao, people believe in gods and all that, but this is not the Tao that I'm teaching. The Tao that I'm teaching is about nature and about practice. Okay, so I got my certificate, which I'm about to show you. So that's my certificate. I am, according to this, a certified cannabis clergy or priest in this house, church, temple. We call ourselves Magi or Magi. I'll get into that maybe. I'll get into that maybe. So on this side of the house temple retreat, I have my symbol or my, I keep saying symbol. I hate that word because you're thinking cult when you say symbol in my mind. So this is my emblem of the Kung Fu. And on the other side, this is the overall emblem of the house, temple, blah. I like to go in order. The house, church, temple. So what that means is I, again, separate. So behind me, I'm not ready to show this yet, but this little foyer is where is my ancestors' altar room. So I haven't finished setting that up yet. We'll talk about that. So that's all I wanted to show right now. Let me sit back down here. Oi, 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 oi. I've been doing a lot of work. You know, when you get my age, boy, get get stuff start aching and shit. You gotta take all this stuff that I'm doing. You gotta be doing all that stuff to be like as limber as I is. Anyways, so the other thing I wanted to do over here was just show you right quick what I'm getting ready to show you, where I'm getting ready to take you after this. After I show you something here, I'm going to take you to my bedroom chamber. So, why I'm taking you over there is because in the house, church, temple, the bedroom chamber is also where I do meditation. So in your bedroom chamber, you don't. I'm gonna do a whole video. It's so much information I want to do. In your bedroom chamber, you don't want to get really into like any deep. I do it anyway, but I'm trying to do my deep thinking on this side of the room, and by the time I'm ready to lay down in the bedroom chamber, it's like either sleep or in the daytime if I'm over there would be meditation. I want to I want to try to stop doing like work and thinking and think. You don't want to have to do that on your bed. You understand? So that's what this living area is for. So what I'm going to talk about on this video is how I've combined my living area with the temple, church, blah, blah, blah. So, let me show you right quick a basic exercise, since this is a whole new system of way of doing things. I've studied a lot of things, so I'm like, this is something that's unique and it's actually based on things that's already being done. I didn't make it up. What you're gonna find is that I like to combine a lot of stuff. I'm not. I found in what I mentioned before, the Magi way of life is that all this stuff came from us. So we can take and choose what we want. What I'm talking about here is I've taken like for instance, basically boxing with Tai Chi. Boxing with Tai Chi. I combined it and now it's a new system. It's not Tai Chi and it's not boxing. It's a new system. So that's what I like to do. And I'm like, we can take from anywhere we want to. We're not stuck till, oh, I can only do, where am I from? Oh, I don't know where I'm from. So if we don't even know where we're from, but the information is there if you look, we can take what we want. We are so-called African Americans, right? So we know where Africa is at and what it's about, and we know there's countries there, not just towns and not just cities and not just states. There, Africa is so large. There are countries, and each country got multiple languages, which became a problem in slavery times. So we got so that the so-called American side of us. What is an American? Oh, French fries. Oh, Italian suits. Oh, German Luger. Oh, they take from all these European things and call it American. So wait a minute, we are Afro, African, Afro. I like to say Afro because that's a word we used back in the day. Afro, our crown. And then we are also Americans. We are the original so-called Americans. The word didn't even exist. The people didn't exist. The people didn't exist. The people who made up the word did not exist when we were on this land right here. Anyway, let me show how we connect our Qui or Chi to the different or the five phases. Now I'm gonna talk about the five phases, and then I'm gonna talk about the five elements of the art of networking headquarters. So first, um, we have three treasures. Treasures. When you don't have no teeth, you be treasures. We have three treasures. So when I do the opening, I'm doing a whole ritual. Like I think I mentioned before, like if you just somebody that happened to be a student of the Kung Fu or whatever, and y'all just see each other, y'all just do like this. What up, my brother, my sister? You ain't got to. I do all that. It's a ritual. But it also represents this hand represents or at least these fingers represents what we call the three treasures. We start with the lowest treasure. I don't want to sit my ass on something and be like, we start with the low. Oh, we start with the lowest treasure. Boink, boink, boink. Which y'all might call sexual. We call, we also call the essence because in your sperm or in your ovarium fluids is the essence of life. When they come together, you, the man, and you, the woman, no matter what I say, if y'all don't know anything out of nowhere, if y'all do the do, no, don't do no do. If y'all do the thangy thang, you can make a new life. And people are like, how are we God? God is in the sky somewhere. Do you not make life, or can you? Well, let me slow down. Some people can't make life. But those of us who can, or those of us who could, because I have children, um, we have no training, no teaching, except for stuff like this in America of how to utilize. They just say, oh, the Bible say, don't have sex till you're married. Well, what if you don't get married, but you have that natural, especially a woman, if you have that natural urge to have children, not just have sex, because why is all the nerves and shit there if you're not supposed to have, you know, some kind of sex? The problem comes in. The problem is that we don't or have an education system. What is the education system? Oh, put on a condom. Okay, I'm getting too deep into that subject. I'm supposed to be talking about how the five elements, the five phases of Qi Gong. The first phase, Earth. Earth is collecting energy. Let me go back. First, I start off with the three treasures. So, in this system, our meditation is, like I was showing you, these three represent the three treasures. Jing, yeah, Jing, mother. The sexual energy. Qi, or Jing, what I was showing you down there, the sexual energy. Qi, which is not the heart. Don't focus on the heart. We focus on the solar plexus. Who named it the solar? Sun. So chi, or qui, life force, bioelectromagnetism is here. Change that into, change Jing into Chi, and change Chi into Shen, which collects in what? Shen, the littlest finger, which collects in what we call the first eye. Y'all might call it the third eye. Scientifically, look at a fetus, how it's formed. It forms all up in here and all this, and this pineal gland forms first, which you call the third eye. And then these eyes form. So this is the second and third eye. Reality, not, oh, well, mugga hugga hubba. No, this physically in your mother formed first. And it has retinal material, the same material that's on your seeing outer eyes. It has the same material inside your brain. This is why you have dreams and you can close your eyes and visualize. Anyway, so basically in this system, those are the only 3 points that we focus on. And we focus on collecting those three within ourselves. This is alchemy I'm talking about. Collecting those three and then circulating them. Where's the circle? Circulating them in what's called the microcosmic orbit, which goes down from the tip of the tongue, and you touch it like a circuit, to the roof of the mouth. So from the tip of the tongue down up under where all the sexual stuff is at, and then it goes up into the spine. Now it starts to go up. So it's going like this. We call that the microcosmic orbit. The sun and the moon and the universe is the macrocosmic orbit. We are the same. We just look at this physical body, and then we look out there and be like, how is that the same, dude? So, two with and two forth, let's get back to the Qi Qigong elements, or yes, the 5 phases. I'm getting it mixed up. Elements. Anyway, the earth is about collecting. I keep going to that and keep forgetting about the 3. I wanted to show you the mudra that we do for to collect the 3, and then I'll talk about the 5. Talk about the 3 face first face bird fish. Talk about the 3 first baits. Now this is our mudra, right? I'm sure if you looked at me a couple of times, you'll see me do this. So we do this twice, and then we connect them. Now this, if you look at it, is, well, it's my fingers, but just imagine that it's the symbol for infinity, which, if you turn it another way, just happen to be, uh, okay, you know, uh, can you can you see it? It's an 8, which just happens to be like the main number in the Tao. Anyway, so we make 2 of these mudras, put them together, and then connect the pinky tips, connect the ring fingertips, connect the fuck you tips, the fuck you fingertips, and have that connected in there, and then close it off. I'm showing you my secrets, man, because nobody noticed Kung Fu. It's not like going to Wing Chun where you have 1,000 people online teaching Qigong. I put this together. I hate to say made it up, because all the stuff already existed. I just took from here and there and what I learned in Grandmaster Leong Chum. That's the basis of all this. So we close this off, like closing off. Now the hands are forming a kind of diamond. So in ancient Kemetic spirituality, we imagine a diamond stuck in granite. So that's the Hetep, not Hotep. Hetep symbol. So the elbows are up, not down like this. They're up. So the 2 arms are representative of that granite, and the hands are representative of the diamond that's stuck. So, in other words, these are 2 of the hardest materials that we know of on Earth. So, a diamond, which is one of the hardest things, in granite, which is another of the hardest things, would be very hard to move. So, that She-tep means peace. So, we say peace in the mind. So, you put the knuckles, you put that thumb knuckle right there. Wait. You form that, put them together there, and put that knuckle right there, right where the nose bend. You put the knuckle in there. Put that in there, boy. What you're doing, you ain't do. If you're not doing it right, you ain't doing it right. So you put it in there. Now you're connecting the extremities of the mind, which is your hands, back with the mind, which is your mind. Something like that. So, since this is the top, the height of your life force, it goes up and out. I want to stay within the camera. It goes up and out. So you're giving of yourself back to your soul. But for you to be alive, you're also taking. Everything is give and take. Everything is yin yang. So, when we see in ancient Egypt people like this, there's also coming back together and bringing the life force, bringing the universal force, one with the force, Luke, bringing the universal force back down to, as if you're not a mother, if you never touched a baby in your life, ask a mother. When a baby is born, there's a soft spot right in the middle of the top of the head. This is where life force go in and out. It's a two-way street. So it just get harder as you get older, but in our kung fu, it's a point that you hit. I'll talk about that on another video. So, but you also taking energy back into your. Let me do the mudra. Back into your first eye, and then from there it moves down from the shin, or we call it the crystal palace, this pineal gland, first eye. In Taoism it is called, not me, in Taoism it is called the crystal palace, but the palace is empty until you do the exercises that I'm showing on these videos. So now you move down into the solar plexus, not move into the heart. Do not move your attention or intention into your heart. We're moving just below the heart and into the solar plexus. Plexus means that a lot of nerve. You got a lot of nerve. It means that a lot of nerve are bundled. Nerves are bundled here. Nerves are bundled here. Out here, they kind of get a chance to spread out, like out in the legs. But in these points, nerve, especially down there, nerves are kind of bundled together. That's why people be like this. They be all tense. That's nervous. Well, a lot of it got to do with nervous energy, blah, 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 blah. So, we move from the crystal palace to the solar plexus. I forgot the Chinese name for it. Look it up. But look how my hands are pointed. So from here, our life force, our love, goes out to the world like so. See, I don't want to. Well, okay, I'll do the whole thing. It goes out, around, not just where your hands are pointed this way, but around your whole body, going all ways. You are surrounded by your love. I don't know you, so I don't love you. That's illogical. If you're a fine young thing, I might, and you come over here. Anyway, so when you come this, you spread love this way. It goes out, but you also take love back. It's natural. It's not egotistical like they try to teach you. So you're taking love back. All I'm doing really is moving my hands. I'm talking, but you should do this quiet in a meditative state and actually see the energy moving with your hands. You take it back in and you're pointing this way. Now, again, this is still straight. It's not like, oh, I'm tired now, man. It's like this, and you have the fingers still together and everything. And the last one, the last treasure, did I say that? These are called the three treasures. I like saying that because on one of these videos, I'm going to get into the connection of ancient Christianity, or the beginnings of Christianity, and its connection to what I'm teaching, what we are calling Tao. And of course, if we're connected to ancient Christianity, we're also connected to Judaism. Oh, you thought I was playing? I'm getting ready to get fucking deep. We don't say fucking in the church. Anyway, so the last one is Jing, or sexual energy, which is like a basic description. We like to say essence because, when you get into it, essence is like, oh, the essence of you. Now think about it. Now that points. I guess I'll move back for this one. When we get down, there, like, this is starting. You got your mind down there, starting to feel warm and shit. You be like, so this is pointing down. Now your arms. Now you're making kind of a triangle, two triangle type movements. Because if you look at your sexual organs, I don't care if you're female, male, it's going this way. It's kind of shaped like that, like a triangle, like a pyramid. Anyways, so we're still doing the mudra, bang, 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 mukh, mukha, shaka, puka. But now, because we're pointing down, because if I was standing up, I would be able to like really like point down to the ground. Because why do I say ground? Because now that's what we are actually doing. So if you're too much up here, you're like, oh yes, I have all these ideas and blah 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 blah, and people don't know what the fuck you're talking about. But if you're too much in here, you're like, oh, I love everything, everything. I have no balance. I just love. I'm loving everything. So up here, in the mind, you're like bugging out. I can do that. I can think of that. And you don't get shit done. And out here, you just emotional. Oh my God. Oh God, please God. But down here, which most of us down here now, I'm a Scorpio, but I have always been a Taoist. I just haven't. I just didn't have training when I was young. Because now down here, you just want to fuck. Or you might be somebody who want to be in love. Or you might be somebody who wants somebody that, oh, are you really smart? Do you have a degree? So there's three treasures. What we do in the way or in the Tao is combine those three treasures in what's called the microcosmic orbit. And the three become one that we call the chemical chemical um, agent. So I'll get into that later. So Earth, I keep getting off the subject, right? Earth, the Earth element, which is the fifth in our Kung Fu, the Earth element is about collecting, okay? Then the wood element is about storing, like a plant or the roots. Once you root, now we in the earth. We thinking about the root. But don't forget the mudra. 1, 2, 3. All right. Um, but so after the third one, now we going down. We're rooting in the earth. So that's wood. Your wood. You put your wood in the earth. I, I I can't help it, man. I'm telling you, I'm a Scorpio. I can't help it. It's just like I can get. Anyway, so now wood stores chi, qui/chi. You understand? And then we move on into water. I'm not going in the order of the five elements. I'm just telling you which element is in charge of that particular way of cultivating. So the first way, Earth is collecting. You have to collect energy to do anything else with it, and then you store it. If you're using up all your energy, then you have to keep collecting energy. I got to collect more energy through breathing and da 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 da, because I don't wasted it all. So we learn how to store energy. And then water is about circulating bioelectromagnetism, chi, qui, throughout the body, throughout the brain, throughout the sexual organs. Ooh, baby. And all that good stuff. You understand, boy? That water is about flowing. Be like, be like water, my friend. Water can flow. But anyway, so then we have metal. Metal is like intention. Like in Tai Chi talks about being soft like cotton, like literally, not just metaphor, but like literally the skin and everything in Tai Chi is soft like cotton. But the internal internal ow, ow. The internal strength is like iron or steel. What do they say? Which one is natural? Iron or, I think iron is natural, right? And steel you gotta. But so it's like, iron inside. You let my teacher touch you for real, for real. So metal in internal, and then fire is at tension. So metal is intention. You're taking your mind. Look at the word intent, intention, intent. Ions. Ions is qui or chi. Look it up. I'm not making this shit up. I've been studying for a minute. I'm telling you science and all the spooky stuff together. Intent intent ions. If you break the word down, ions is the electromagnetism. When it gets into your body, it becomes bioelectromagnetism or beam. And when you're thinking inside, thinking about how energies and things are in alchemy, changing and mixing and all that stuff, when you're thinking about it within, that's called intention. Now, with fire, we are thinking it's called attention. Like if I'm focusing, if you was here, I'm looking at a god dag nabbit iPhone right now. But anyway, if you was here, I put my attention on you. Not like that. My teacher, I'd be doing. When I was first taking Tai Chi, I was looking like I was like, God damn it, I'm gonna take my eyes and I'm gonna make a laser come out of my eyes. And Grandmaster Leon Chung all he would do is come by and I'll be like, nah. He'd be like, soft, 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 not like this, like soft. Let, don't try, let. You understand? There's a difference. You let the intention become attention. Anyway, so that's fire, you understand, or thought. And then you have neutral, no tension. So listen to the word. The first one was in tension, like tension. The other one is at tension. So what most people think of the foundation of meditation, ooh, that rhymes, is like no tension, like closing off, no intention, no visualization, no attention. You're closing your eyes, you're closing your ears, you're closing your smell, you're closing your shut the fuck up mouth, and you're closing off your feelings, and you're just sitting there like a lump on the log, like you're not even paying intention or attention to your breathing. You're letting your body do it by itself. No tension, none, zip, zero, nada. This is neutral. It's that line. I haven't talked about that line because you have the yang or the yang, y'all say, and then you have the yin side with, the external and the internal. But there's also, did you know about that part where they come together. That is where things get neutral. That's the S. So we have the S. Besides round, we also have the S. Hey! Ha! So that's the 5 phases that I'm getting ready to talk about. Is an hour already. I'm getting ready to talk about the 5 elements of the matter of fact, you know what? I'm gonna make that a part 2 after this because it's already an hour. I'm gonna go over there and make the part 2. Yeah. So, one more thing, one last thing for this video. I'm making notes. I'm making notes. I'm getting better, man, so I can remember every goddamn nabbit thing. Even though I left one thing out. But anyway, oh no, I talked about that. In neutral, which I talked about in Wu Chi, that's what that symbol is. Not some symbol I made up and it's like, oh, you are the holy of holy polies. No, I didn't make it up. It's the Wu Chi symbol, which I showed you up there. That comes before the yin and yang, blah, 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 blah. So anyway, when you do something and you're neutral, you're actually grounding more to the earth. When you let go, when you stop the intention, when you stop the visualization, as well as stop thinking about, oh, my body needs to be in a stance, oh, my body needs to be like this. When you stop thinking about all that and you're just neutral, that's when you're really grounding back into the, well, you're kind of grounded, but we walk on concrete, which is cutting off the electromagnetism or the magnetism coming out of the earth. We're gonna get kind of scientific too. I'm not a scientific I am not a scientist, but we're gonna get scientific. All right, so I'm gonna cut this off, and we're gonna go to part 2.